Video games have come a long way from the pixelated graphics of the 80s and early 90s. As consoles continue to advance in technology, it is only fitting that the software follows suit with increasingly visually stunning works of art. Whether on a high-end PC or a standard console, gamers will instantly notice when a game looks miles better than the rest of the pack. Games that look good, be it due to high-resolution graphics or a beautiful art style, tend to be fun to play as well. The developers must be up to something worthwhile, if so much effort is put into the graphics, right? Well, this year promises to captivate gamers with some of the most goose-pimply, graphically amazing games to ever grace the world of gaming. But while you still wait for new game titles, do not forget that 2022 also witnessed the release of some jaw-dropping video games with awe-inspiring graphics. So without wasting any more time, here are 5 games with insane graphics you should play in 2023 today. In no particular order, we start our countdown with one game that continues to garner praise from all angles. That game is God of War Ragnarok. Without a doubt, God of War was arguably the most attractive PlayStation 4 game upon its release, so it really shouldn't surprise anyone that the much-anticipated sequel from the esteemed Santa Monica studio would push the new PS5 console to the limits, testing the system's capabilities to the fullest. God of War Ragnarok is a visual spectacle that pays particular interest in details. Take, for example, Kratos' facial features are so well defined it's almost unbelievable. Every single stress line, scar, and wrinkle is defined, with his facial expression revealing an old man who has seen more than his fair share of violence and death. Kratos doesn't portray a stoic expression, but rather lays down a full gamut of emotions, which makes gamers empathize with the protagonist at every point in your adventure as you progress in the game. Kratos' minimalistic dialogue is no problem, as his expression speaks louder than any words that he could mutter in the game. And it's not just Kratos with the detailed expression. Other key characters in the game, like Atreus, his son and sidekick, also get the same detailed treatment from developers. God of War Ragnarok offers an environment that is just as stunning as anything you might have come across. In scale alone, this game is massive. Then when you include other intrinsic details in the environment, you have more than just a game, but a playing experience of enormous proportions. Every scene is unique, with varying structures, atmospheric effects, and sound that blends perfectly to accentuate the environment and immerse you in a fantasy world that sucks you in, holds you tight, and really doesn't want to let go. To say God of War Ragnarok is addictive is to state the obvious, but its addictive allure is made possible by the interactive environment. Check out the lush jungles of Vanaheim or the snowy woodlands that make up Midgard. The environment of God of War Ragnarok is just a thing of quality and beauty. With so many graphic options available, you are sure to witness new experiences with each gameplay on PS5. It is not often that a remake totally dwarfs the original in all aspects, but that's what Final Fantasy VII has done. While admittedly, the limitations of the 1997 release of the original must be taken into account when comparing it with the remake, it must be said that the two RPG games are truly night and day in comparison. Final Fantasy is our 4th graphically intensive game that gamers are still talking about on glowing terms, even though it was first released on PS4 back in 2020. Developed by Square Enix with the much-heralded Unreal Engine, Final Fantasy VII is a game that raises the bar for much-anticipated single-player RPGs video games. With absolutely stunning battles and cutscenes and pre-rendered backgrounds, the incredible visual display instantly draws you into the highly immersive gameplay. It may be more than 25 years since the original first caught gamers' attention, but the remake of Final Fantasy is every bit what fans of this game set in Midgard, a dystopian cyberpunk metropolis, could have only dreamt of. As you navigate your way through the game with Cloudstrife, the mercenary, you make alliances with an eco-terrorist group called Avalanche. in preventing Shinra, the notorious mega corporation, from depleting all of the Earth's resources for their energy source. What makes Final Fantasy VII Remake such a great game to play is how your character interacts with the environment, combining elements of role-playing, strategy, and real-time action. This beautiful video game offers some of the most impressive lighting, sound, and atmospheric environments in the RPG genre with a fluid, well-defined support cast and protagonist. At number 3 is Horizon Forbidden West. It's almost a year since this video game was published by Sony Interactive Entertainment, but gamers on PlayStation 4 and PS5 still can't get enough of this single-player action role-playing game. Guerrilla Games built Horizon Forbidden West using the Decima engine, and the promise of this engine shows in the game's overall look. Aloy, a clone of the old world scientist Elizabeth Sobek and a hunter in the tribe of Nora, is your in-game character. The young woman explores a futuristic, post-apocalyptic North America ravaged by a plague. Her mission is to find the source of the plague in hopes of putting an end to it. But the plot is not what grips you the most in this game. It's the vastness of the open-world environment in which you have to journey on your quest to help your tribe. Aloy explores natural, ultra-realistic environments, navigating through lush vegetation and battling intricate, mechanical beasts along the way. As Aloy journeys through uncharted regions, Aloy comes across large storms that add to the grappling atmospheric effects that suddenly transforms a seemingly calm environment into an almost chaotic one. This game is loaded with many exquisite ecosystems and uniquely created environments, incorporating all of the natural elements you can imagine, including snowy peak mountains, tropical sandy beaches, dry desolate deserts, an underwater scenery, lush hills and valleys, and many known American cities on utter ruin. The spellbinding graphics of Horizon Forbidden West are made possible not only by the developers, but also by the capabilities of the PS5 console. With the 9th generation of video game consoles taking a stranglehold of the gaming industry, it's inevitable that gamers will be treated to an assortment of visually elaborate game titles that are sure to leave players awe, while developers rub their hands at the prospect of surpassing the expectations of the gaming world with visually stunning graphics that constantly raises the bar on what can be achieved on new generation hardware like the Xbox Series XS and PS5. This leads us to the second game of our countdown, titled A Plague Tale: Requiem, which is actually one of the first video games to truly offer gamers a 9th generation gaming experience by fully capitalizing on the enormous hardware capabilities of both the Xbox Series XS and PlayStation 5. This single-player action-adventure stealth game by Asobo Studio boasts of photorealistic graphics and visuals with facial animations that could never be achieved on the Xbox One or PS4 versions, which accounts for why the developers never produced the game for these 8th-generation consoles. On a technical level, A Plague Tale: Requiem is on a level only a few released games can match. This game takes our perceptions of what in-game graphics should be like to a whole new dimension. Perhaps the benchmark has been set, and we all can only watch as successive game titles try to outdo themselves by pushing the envelope of what can be achieved on new generation consoles. Our number one game with insane graphics to play in 2023 is Elden Ring. Elden Ring took top spot in our top 5 games to play in 2023 review, and it's no surprise that this game is mentioned in here, as one of the things that made Elden Ring earn the number 1 spot in our top 5 games to play in 2023 was its high-quality graphics. Elden Ring offers gamers a fully interactive open-world environment that they can freely traverse with their in-game character either by foot or on horseback. There are 6 primary regions to explore, with hidden dungeons offering up useful ability-boosting items to help you on your quest to find the shards of the titular Elden Ring, which when put together will see you become the much-coveted Elden Lord. The vast open-world setting is beautifully and intricately designed to bring out the details in every single natural or constructed environmental item. Your character in stealth mode is also very cool with his sleek movement, dodging, and evading tactics, highlighting the strong visual expression of the game. Even the creatures, monsters, and level bosses in the game are so well defined that you will be left dumbstruck by the level of detail put into each in-game character, regardless of their perceived importance to the storyline and plot. Elden Ring is a brilliant work of art from the stables of From Software, which can only be matched in visual performance by the equally powerful PS5 and Xbox Series XS consoles. And there you have it, our top 5 games with insane graphics to play in 2023. But you can be certain that before the year runs out, more video games with absolutely insane graphics will be available across all platforms. You can be sure that we'll provide you with updates on these games as they published, but until then, enjoy these 5 games. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to be notified about the best in gaming news, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell as well.